I was once again expected to be disappointed with Codemasters' next F1 game in VR, F1 25. In fact, I was so expectant that it would be just as bad as every other year that I started pre-writing the script for this video based off F1 23 and F1 24, thinking there would be no improvements. But actually, I ended up being a little surprised. The game is almost there. It is so close to being what I want it to be in VR. So let's start with the good. The frame rate is actually smooth and the clarity is sharper than ever. F1 25 in VR is actually playable, and I say that as someone that has been burned too many times. On my RTX 3070, I'm able to maintain a constant frame rate, and when my settings got dialed in, the stuttering was gone. Even in rainy conditions, the performance held steady. It's not the level of clarity of a game like Automobilista 2, but it is way more noticeable than past F1 games, probably the most fidelity I've seen in the Codemasters F1 series yet. There's a sense of visual consistency this time. The lighting, the reflections feel more grounded. I could finally race in wet conditions without sacrificing performance. This game is actually playable, and I am looking forward to continuing to play this game in VR for the first time. It's not all perfect though. First off, the performance depends heavily on how low you go with your settings, and at low settings, immersion obviously takes a hit. One of the big things that bummed me out was there's no spray in the rain with how low I had to go in my settings, and if I tried to bump them up, the whole game would crash and my screen would black out and I would have to reset the whole thing. So spray in the rain, definitely a no-go, which is a big bummer for immersion. And this glitch sucks. Every time I load into a new track after finishing a race, it gets so laggy I have to exit out the game and restart it. And that is especially annoying if you're trying to race online, because you'll have to keep exiting after every race instead of hopping into the next race with the same group of people. They're probably going to patch that. This is a problem that I think has plagued the games in the past and they fixed it, but for right now at launch, every time you load into a new track, you have to restart the game or else it'll get super laggy. And I mean, don't even get me started on the menus. They're technically VR compatible, you know, you don't technically have to leave your headset. You can control everything with the controller and stay in your headset. But the menus are just so jittery and lag prone, they're gonna give you a headache. I just stay in VR for the races and then take it off right after. And the halo, in every other racing sim, I can leave the halo on and it's a beautiful immersive thing, but in F1 25, it's positioned in a weird way that it gives me serious eye strain. And this isn't just in 25, it's been an issue ever since they implemented VR in this game. There's something about how it's rendered in 3D that it doesn't just sit right, and I have to turn it off, which is a shame because I wish I could leave it on for the immersion. Now, VR means nothing if the gameplay actually sucks, but honestly, I've been kind of impressed. Now, I do want to say these are just first impressions. I want to drive it way more to feel the car and to feel how the AI feel before making any definitive statements, but so far I am impressed. The cars feel like they have grip on track, but they also feel like there's weight to them, there's physicality. It's somewhere between F1 23 and 24. In 23, the cars felt heavy but lacked grip, and in 24 they felt light and too grippy. F1 25 strikes a better balance between the two, and the handling actually reminds me of how F1 cars behave in Automobilista 2 or iRacing, where you feel the weight under braking, but you still have the high grip in high-speed corners, and it's a combo that feels real. I haven't driven a F1 car, but I've heard it described, you know, with the hybrid system, the cars feel heavy, and this generation of F1 cars are focused on mechanical grip, so you're gonna have the grip there. So it's how I would imagine it to feel. And then there's the dirty air, which I'm shocked to say, but it's the most I've ever felt the dirty air in a Codemasters F1 game. I've been playing a lot of iRacing recently, and I've come to appreciate having to deal with the dirty air, and seeing it here is a massive step forward in terms of immersion. Now let's talk AI. For me, this is the first time in a while that I've raced a Codemasters F1 game and thought, this is actually fun. The AI race each other, they fight me, they retake positions. I haven't rage quit though, because they've done something stupid, and I haven't gotten bored because they're too docile, and that alone is a win. Plus, there's huge tire wear. Tire wear is no joke. When I first started driving, I didn't even think about it, so I didn't manage it, and by the end of the race, my tires fell off a cliff, and you could feel it fall off the cliff. And it forces you to think like a real driver and strategize and conserve, and a win feels way more earned. So should you, as a VR sim racer, buy F1 25? Well, if you've been waiting for a Codemasters game that doesn't feel like an afterthought in VR, this might be the first one worth your time. The experience isn't perfect, but it's no longer completely broken. And for the first time, I can see the potential. VR performance is finally stable, and driving immersion is improving, and the AI is more fun than frustrating, way better than last year. It still needs polish. I still need to drive career mode to see what I think and see how deep it really goes. But based on what I've seen so far, F1 25 might just be the best VR experience the series has ever had. I'm even considering starting a full VR career mode playthrough on this channel, so if that's something you want to see, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments. This is something that could be the start of something really special. And if you've tried F1 25 in VR already, let us know what you think. There's gonna be people here wanting to know if they should get it, so leave your review in the comments below. Was it better than expected? Was it still a disappointment? Let's talk about it in the comments section. Until next time, thanks for watching.